You guys were
Welcome
complaining about this flute, dude. They just give it to you. I don't even know what you're even talking about.
It's the Moogle's
That's
flute,
the
not the
Moogle's
fairy
flute,
flute.
not the fairy flute. Does it look like a fairy?
I don't know. They don't ever show it on
the
screen.
Moogle flute is the game's compromise between explaining away game saves by saying you have to save in the Moogle and allowing you to keep saving whenever the hell you want on a world map screen. Why you can't use the Moogle flute when you're just out in a town or something, I don't know. They seem to be perfectly capable of flying and fighting you in the middle of a forest.
Yeah, but this Moogle in particular has a fear of crowds.
Wait, is that actually their explanation?
No.
No. They don't explain it at all. To be honest,
I like the world map music a lot. It's very serene.
I like the world map music. I'm not as fond of the world map graphics, though. I kind of think that the Final Fantasy IX world maps environment graphics are the ugliest out of the 3 PlayStation ones.
Even 7?
Even 7? I would say 7's pretty ugly.
7 just sort of colors everything, and it's simple and it looks kind of blah, but it also moves around a lot smoother.
I think it may be the frame rate that's compromising your viewpoint entirely, because I think 9 looks better. Because again, you got the thing about you got to remember here is that you're still in the mist continent, so there's mist all over the fucking place, which washes the entire picture out.
You mean
But
kryptonite mist?
No, not kryptonite fog. No bullshit like that. Mist. Because the draw distance actually does improve when you get to the other continents.
Those enemies, by the way, are moos, and the first friendly monster that you're going to run into is one of these guys.
Yeah, a friendly move.
You'll know it's a friendly one because they'll talk to you.
And
they'll play a different piece of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the different piece of music freaked the fuck out of me the first time I played this game.
It kind of, in retrospect, it's the kind of music that you might expect in a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Five Nights at Friendly Moves.
And
Isn't
BB
the friendly
Thunder.
yam the one that scares everybody, though?
Oh, yes.
Only if you're legitimately trying to fight it.
Why
Yeah.
would you try to...
Oh, man.
Like, what happens if you try to fight the friendly monster?
It will wreck you.
The friendly animals aren't especially easy to kill, I don't think.
What do you get if you do kill them?
Nothing. You want to give them the items because they give you some of the biggest AP bonuses in the entire game.
Oh,
Like
they
50.
give you AP bonuses if you kill them?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, if you give them the items they want, they give you AP bonuses.
Oh yeah, that's your short-term reward for getting each friendly monster. You get a big AP bonus. So before you go friendly monster hunting, equip something that you really want to grind up, and keep an eye on that grind meter while you're going through random encounters, because you really don't want to waste that AP bonus. And that's exactly what'll happen if you've got like 2 points to go before gaining something.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well grind it up on the random crap that's around, and then,
Yeah. Now, I like that. There's a male only ability that's just protect girls.
And only Sidane can learn it.
Yeah, basically all that is a guard ability that only works on female characters when they get targeted.
Steiner's going to have most of the stuff to work on early on.
Yeah, as you can see, you got Bright Eyes, which prevents blindness, and Level Up, which increase. Actually, did some research on Level Up beforehand. It actually does increase the experience output by
it does.
1.5.
Okay.
oh, that's a pretty significant increase, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get that as early as the Iron Helmet, but again, you got to steal that from the plant boss. So, again, it is very lucrative for you to steal a lot of shit in this game. Not just to increase the power of thievery, but just so you can get a lot of...
Oh, you put Zidane in the back row?
Yeah, because he's stealing most of the time.
Okay, that's something I should probably change when I
Yeah.
put the game on again.
Well, it depends on how often you really want to use his physical attacks. I use Zidane as a physical attacker because he has some decent damage output, but we have Steiner right now, so it's not necessary.
Yep. Ooh, snakes.
Oh, it's Snake!
Question, are you playing this on the highest ATB speed?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. That's something that's one of the things that legitimately bugs me about Final Fantasy IX is that the highest ATB speed is about equal to mid-low in Final Fantasy VII.
And actually changing the battle speed this time, like going in a higher number means going faster compared to like older Final Fantasies where the highest number was actually the slowest setting in terms of ATB build-up.
So, do you recommend playing at the high speed for a new player, or?
Well, in Final Fantasy IX, sure, because the high speed isn't really all that high.
No.
And it just helps keep the pace of the battle up. In Final Fantasy VII, to this day, I still don't set the ATB to its highest speed, because at that point, it goes so fucking fast you lose your barriers and stuff, like, before you even have a chance to enjoy them.
Final Fantasy VII is the only Final Fantasy where I make sure to fucking God I don't have that shit set on wait. Because that ATB stops for everything. It's like,
Yeah.
Barrett's got to pick his nose again.
Well, you know, that's a double-edged sword, because if you're the kind of player who actually does use your barrier spells, your barriers drain with your ATB. So, having it set on wait allows you to keep the barrier going while animations are going, and
Yeah.
you actually get something out of it.
If you're a first-time player, you should normally set the ATB to wait and on the slowest battle speed so that you can have more than enough time to react.
I'll contest the slowest battle speed thing, if only because the slow ATB meters can really cause random battles to drag, like a lot.
In this game specifically, because the battle speed in earlier Final Fantasies, I think this may only apply to 4, 5, and 6, only affected enemy speed, not your ATB. So, if anything, playing it on the slowest battle speed in those games made encounters easier because you didn't have to deal with so many attacks. In this game, like in 7, 8, and 9, that also affected your ATB. So, I would agree there, but not in older Final Fantasies.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I always play it on active now because, well, I like to think I know what I'm doing.
Well,
But
you know,
sometimes I have those wake-up calls.
I'm that one guy who manually inputs all of my attacks in Final Fantasy 13, so it's not like I can't negotiate the menus quickly. Like, people aren't exaggerating when they say that you can just use auto battle over and over in Final Fantasy 13, but it is more efficient to input your own attacks and then repeat that command chain.
But also make it seem like you're doing something.
Well, yeah.
Like, don't leave it to the AI to do all your shit for you.
The auto bat, I like auto battle functions, but they really should only be there for grinding purposes.
I
Well,
agree.
the auto battle function in Final Fantasy 13 is supposed to input a chain of commands really quickly so that you don't have to fiddle with your menu all the time. But here's the thing: the auto battle command runs on the same AI script as as your companion AI, so it will only pick good attacks based on what scan data you have.
So you gotta scan first to have a good auto battle.
Yeah. It also has this really infuriating habit of mixing up commands unnecessarily, and that's a problem because in Final Fantasy XIII, using the same command over and over results in faster battle animations, which results in faster damage.
So, Ryan, you get kicks out of destroying innocent little squirrels.
Well, I have to find a way to the ice cavern.
I thought we were cutting these battles out.
They attacked us, hear me. Now, is there anything to find on the world map at this point in the game? Because I
No.
said screw it.
You can head to the North Gate early instead of the ice cavern. You can't get past it, but you can talk to the girl behind the gate to sell you potions, and there are 2 treasure chests in there. I think is eye drops, and I think another set of potions.
Yeah, there are a lot of little segues in Final Fantasy IX where you can go off the beaten path, go to a certain area you're not supposed to go to early, and there'll be a little something there for you.
Yeah.
Or at least some sort of flavor text to find. You never know.
Yeah.
A lot of RPGs do that, though.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate that because it makes me feel like my journey wasn't a waste of time.
Yeah, I was talking about Final Fantasy XIII a few seconds ago, and I might as well clarify this. I defend the game, but not its linearity. This game, Final Fantasy IX, for the first disc, and for a significant portion of disc 2, is very linear. But do you know why it works here? Because there's stuff to do along the way, other than just go forward and fight. You can talk to people, you can explore the environments that you're in, and there's actual exploration to be done. You can find all sorts of hidden knickknacks, and there are towns to bust up the monotony of just rushing forward through every adventure fighting sequence there is.
Yeah. It's funny, when you break it down to very basic principles, the reason why you go off the beaten pathway in games like this is to get a treasure or to find some sort of flavor text for something. In 13, that was sort of still the case, instead removing all the flavor text just for treasure.
It's
Because in 13, the pathway did occasionally branch out like 3 meters to the left, so you can get that treasure chest, whatever, like that, and then you're back on the main pathway. It was like a bastardization of what you do in 7, 8, and 9. A lot of Final Fantasies, for that matter.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. Okay, in Final Fantasy 13, treasure was your reason. It was your entire reason. In other Final Fantasy games, when you go off the beaten path, it's because you're interested in what you'll see or find or listen to or whatever.
I agree.
it's a game isn't linearity isn't a problem as long as they make it interesting. Is the thing, and from what I've seen, I haven't played it. It's just a matter of keeping the pace up and keeping the things you're doing varied, because linearity is actually a strong, I think, is actually can be a strong point a lot of the time because it allows for a very polished experience. You know. But,
well, a lot of people focus on gameplay mechanics when they talk about this, but you got to remember that in an RPG, a lot of the appeal to playing the game in the first place is in the world and the story, and that's not just in cutscenes. The world and the story it's something that you experience as you play through the game. Every area is a story. There's someone, or multiple someones, for every area in the game who wrote a lot of stuff, which then got translated into the area that you see. The areas are telling a story. Oh, snap. I was about to say, why haven't you cut out this goblin battle? But, you know, it was worth it just to see Vivi get goblin punched to death.
Wow, you're morbid.
Vivi's been goblin punched! What do we do?
Goblin punch is like that one spell in Final Fantasy that you're getting goblin punched all the time here, but I never see the goblins use it when I play. It's just, it's a blue magic spell that I get to fill out my blue magic list and then never use.
Yeah, pretty much.
Most of the time it doesn't cost any MP.
And since Vivi's down, he doesn't get any experience points.
No.
Yep.
Actually, one thing I wanted to mention is that when in those sequences where Blank joins your party while you're escaping the evil forest, if you want to make grinding a little less tedious, you can kill Blank, so that the XP goes strictly to the main party.
Oh, it does
wait,
that. It does that thing where they divide the experience.
Yeah, they divide the experience points. Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't know that. That's actually interesting to know because you can't do it this early in the game, but later on in the game, you can switch party. You can switch your party out however you like, including kicking Zidane out of your battle party.
Oh, so you don't have to keep him in the party the entire time, like Chrono
No.
or Cloud or...
He's plot mandatory for this portion of the game, but later on he'll still be a walking avatar, but you can switch out your battle party however you want.
What am I doing?
He doesn't even need to participate in the final battle. Why are you...
I have no idea what I'm doing. I definitely apologize for
Remember
this.
that part where we said we're not meandering? We lied.
Man.
I apologize for this. I have no idea what I was thinking.
This is so nostalgic. It's like the old school BrainScratch days when none of us knew how to cut tedious shit out.
You know, it has been like 4 years since we did 6, so we might as well go back into old school mentalities.
Well,
Tag it out.
No.
What? I like that commentary. Fuck you.
No, when we did 6, all the grinding was cut out, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we did 6. I only showed off formations that we didn't see before.
Yeah. Well, I guess this is different. We're seeing 3 squirrels instead of 2.
Well, I mean, Ryan wants to show off his moo genocidal tendencies, and that's okay.
You know, there is some merit, I think, to showing off more of the battle system this early in the game, because once we get, like, the basics don't change. It's just the details whenever you get a new party member or something, as well. So
yeah, but I don't think there's anything really worth showing right now, except Garnet is about to die.
Yeah, true. Like
Princess Garnet Till Alexandros the 24th, killed by squirrels.
yeah,
She got a serious case of the moo moo.
And then the Oblivion Gates open all over the country, and it's just a whole lot of hell. And I mean that literally. It's a whole lot of hell. Every Oblivion Gate leads to a fiery demon pit. The same fiery demon pit. Over and over and over again. I'm sorry, I hated that in Oblivion. Okay.
I see. Will Ryan go into the ice cavern this time?
After I heal up.
3, 2, 1.
oh, so we're just
You
gonna
heal-
assume no until otherwise proven wrong.
If I see him start running in circles after this.
Okay, so what is clever marketing speech for our commentary has really slow ass pacing? We're taking this commentary at a very relaxed pace. Yeah.
Our commentary moves in such a way to provide insightful and meaningful commentary.
Talky stuff.
Commentary on the game's world and aesthetics.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about how, like, in pre-release stuff for video games, like, they'll talk about the flaws in their game in really flowery language that's designed to make it sound interesting, and then when you actually play it, it's not interesting.
Oh, this is a piece of shit.
Ice Cavern is a really good first dungeon for the game, and it's really refreshing for me too, because it's so pretty to look at. And for the last 2 games, like, the beginning areas of the game were, like, really gray and techy, except for the Fire Cavern, which was really short in Final Fantasy VIII. But even that sticks to the grim mood of things. And it's like, when you go through the Ice Cavern, the characters are talking about how pretty it is, and that's the kind of sense of adventure you really want in a Final Fantasy game. And I'll give Final Fantasy 13 this: it did that right, because you get some really great views in that game. It's like, yeah, Hanging Edge is really dark and battle-y and stuff,
I like how all the new areas have their own kind of font for everything.
Yes.
Yeah, the name title things are pretty nice touch.
Was the first Final Fantasy to do that?
I believe
I
so.
think so.
Yeah.
I think like Final Fantasy 12 does it too. I don't think 10 does it. 13 does it, but 13 uses the same title for everything. So it's not as interesting there. It's just like, okay, we're in this new place and it happens to have a referential name. Here's an airship called the Lindblum. Sid is on it. You get it?
Hey, look there's a town called Palamporum, and that's not actually a reference to anything. It's just using the name of old characters because reasons.